Good evening, Resilience family. I hope everyone is well today and having a blessed Sunday. It has been a long weekend, and so this beginning of this week should be refreshing. I hope it's refreshing for all, right?
Yes.
So, guys, I have a special guest, like all of my guests, and I'm just grateful. I am grateful for her being here to share her world with us. Um, Man, it's phenomenal, guys. So welcome to Tahirah. How are you doing today, ma'am?
I am doing well. How are you doing?
I'm good. And let me stop there. Did I say your name right? I've been practicing.
Tahirah.
Girl, okay, I got it. Yes, I've been practicing. I don't like messing up people's names.
I appreciate that.
But thank you for your time. Tell the audience a little bit about you.
Okay, well, my name is Tahirah Ogletree. I am the author of the award-winning book Survivors Celebrating Life Beyond Domestic Violence. I am a founder and executive director at the Tahirah Foundation. I'm a life coach, and I am a survivor saved by the grace of God. That's the most important thing.
Yeah.
And I share my story transparently to inspire others that may be walking on the path that I once walked on, and helping them to overcome and let them know that there is God. There's God first, and He will make a way, and He can turn your past into new beginnings.
Yeah,
that is who I am. The nonprofit organization has been in existence since 2016. And that is the same year that I self-published my book. And within 6 months of self-publishing, it won first place award for Mind, Body, and Spirit.
Awesome. Well, congratulations.
Thank
Awesome. We about to have some good conversation today, guys. Some deep conversation is what I like. Because as I share with you, Tahirah, I like sharing people's stories so we can help the next person and the next, even if it's just one that we touch,
Yeah.
So before we dig in more into your world, please tell me your meaning, your definition of resilience.
Never giving up, no matter what.
God.
That is it. It is as simple as that. It needs nothing else. Just never giving up, having that strength. And where do you get that strength from? You get that strength from Christ.
Wow.
I can do all things through Him. So if you don't know how to do it, trust me, the Holy Spirit will lead you and guide you in all perfect
I
truth.
am trying to tell you.
Yes.
That's good. That's what was happening in church today. Our pastor was talking about pray. You got to pray.
Yes.
And then God go help you out. He gonna make it happen. You got to stay righteous and pray. I was like, woo. He was thinking my story today. I was in there. But yes. Should we start at the beginning? You want to go from the middle? How should we do this? Yeah, let's start at your beginning. Yeah.
Well, my beginning. I grew up in Cleveland, Ohio. I was a little girl, and my mom and dad, they never, they weren't married, but they would never physically fight, but they would always verbally get into it and argue. So that left me crying, feeling despair, and wanting to have my own life. Little girl, I'm like, I want to be married.
Yeah.
And I would watch the Huxtables and different shows of that nature that had that family origin and just that togetherness. And so that's what I desired. And growing up as a younger little girl, that's all I focused on. So when it became time for me to of age to date, that was still my focus. And it was 1920. I met my husband, our ex-husband at the time, and he was older than I was, and he was talking about marriage, and there was a huge age gap. I think he was like 36, and I was like 20, so I was fresh out, what they say. I was fresh out. I was fresh out of my mama's house, not knowing anything, only focused on what I desired.
Right.
So, he painted a really, really nice picture at first, wanted to get married, and because that was where my headspace was,
Right.
that's what I listened to.
Yeah.
And we began dating, and within 6 months we were married.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was fast.
Now, during that time of 6 months, I noticed the warning signs. I overlooked them because I says, well, maybe I can, talk him out of it, and he'll change. And, I have a good heart, and I
Yeah.
always want to help that other person.
Yeah.
I always have a saying, like, you always helping the broken birdies. The broken birdies. You got to stop helping the broken birdies. But so that was my focus. I was like, okay, I want to, stay married and, help them out, and hopefully things will change. And they did. They got worse. Verbal abuse. The verbal abuse came first, then the physical abuse, then the financial abuse, then the psychological abuse. So I have gone through all of the phases of domestic violence. And like I said, by the grace of God, I stand here today and am able to share my story transparently. Even within sharing my story, he has gone on his way. And I count that even a blessing, because a lot of women are not able to speak so publicly about domestic abuse. So that in itself is a blessing. And as I, and within that marriage, I was married for 5 years, and I, like I said, went through everything. One incident, well, there were multiple incidents, but one of the incidents that I dealt with was being drugged down the stairs.
Wow.
And I was drugged out of the house onto a splintered porch, down concrete stairs, and thrown in the front yard.
Wow.
And his response to whoever was standing around, at the neighbors at that time, says, "Here she go, y'all. Here she go." And that was the most humiliating thing in my life that I've ever dealt with. And and within my conversation, I want you to hear the warning signs that I ignored, and my pattern of ways that I did, and that allowed me to continue to be in that abusive relationship.
Before you go there, isn't it just, I don't know, to me, like, I don't even know the word to use, but it's like you have your many incidents that happen. I don't know, but you have that one that sticks out. I don't know. To me, when I went through my, abuse, I just had that one moment, and to some people it really wasn't, I don't know, but you had that one moment. My one that just, I don't know, I was in the bathroom using the toilet, and he just walked in, and he just spat on me while I was sitting on the toilet, and I was just like, ugh. He was like, "You're just so ugly. Just, ugh, nobody wants you." I don't know, that one moment, it wasn't the choke out that happened, none of that. That moment right there, I don't know. It just, I don't know. To me, I don't know. It's like you had that one moment that you really, I don't know. I don't know if it wasn't even a turnaround for me, but it just sticks out now. It just, I don't know how to explain it, but you have that one just incident in your long, and it's just like, that one is what sticks to you in your mind. I don't know, that one just sticks in my head. But that's what was coming to me when you were explaining how, he drugged you down these stairs and out, and I was like, we have this one moment that is like, my God, I really went through that. I really survived this. So I applaud you.
Thank you.
Totally.
Yeah, that was one of the moments.
Yeah.
Being drugged out down the stairs, but I went back.
Wow.
I went back, and it was a I'm sorry. It was, I won't do this again. I'm going to get help.
Right.
Okay. That's something to listen out to when they say, "I'm going to get help." Why are you going to get help? Are you getting help to further manipulate? Are you getting
Right.
help to really seek help for yourself? So
Yeah.
I bought the lie. I'm going to get help. So I'm like, okay, we get help. We get, we continue our marriage. I'm going to buy a new house. The things.
Yeah.
See, we're
Yeah.
not tied to things. We're supposed to be tied to him. But
Yeah.
but see, it was the things. We got a new house, and I've
Yes.
heard this along the way, where we're going to go on a trip. We're going
Right.
to go on a vacation. We're going to do this, and those are things. That is not repairing the heart.
Exactly.
The heart of a person has to change before they change.
Yes.
Mindset has to change. So I bought into the lie.
Right.
And it was peaceful waters, and it was almost like he was walking on eggshells. I was always walking on eggshells, but it was like he was walking on eggshells because he was uncomfortable. That wasn't his character.
Right.
That wasn't him. So
right.
He was going to show, he was going to eventually show his true character again. And
exactly.
And from that call, or actually from that incident where he drugged me down the steps during that whole struggle there, I had managed to dial 911. Now I hung up, but the police, they always come out and that's the situation. So the police was called, and he had always warned me. He's always warned me. Listen, never call the police on me ever. Never call.
Wow.
If you do, you will be sorry. And so I hung up that phone. And I remembered that, and it was conversations as he was in jail for the time, and calling me back and forth and saying he was sorry, he would do better, and all this stuff. And like I said, I bought into the lie. After that, bought the house, got counseling. He was still, like I said, he was walking on eggshells because he wasn't comfortable, and it started to happen again.
Wow.
The disrespect, the anger, the tempers, and all of that. So that went on for, like I said, for 5 years. And that very last incident, he came into the house because the phone call was placed a year prior. No charges were ever brought against him.
Right.
It was dropped. But the courts got record of that incident.
Oh, and wow.
So he was not able to see his son. He was in a custody.
Wow.
So at that particular juncture, I knew it was done. I knew I had better run and never come back because he had made that very, very clear. And that day he had choked me as I was going out of the driveway. And that was the end of that. But like I said, I have gone through the physical, the mental, the psychological. I was always kicked out of the house every 6 months. When the argument would come, he didn't like something or I did something, get your iced tea and get out.
Right. And can you speak to that mental peace side? Like what was going through your mind? What were you feeling?
I was scared. I was very scared. I remember I was blessed in that marriage, in that time frame to work at corporate, I work at MBNA at the time. So I remember I had a lot of security and a lot of support at my job. And I remember one day my friend, she came with me, and I said, I told her I have to go. And so we took a break from work, and we went over there and packed the bag. She helped me pack, and just getting out of there. And soon later he came and started going through all the stuff. This is mine. You put that back, petty Paul. and I mean, it was a lot of fear. It was a lot of fear that took place inside of me, but God helped me, and I had the help of my mother. See, my mother really supported me, and I know that many people who deal with domestic abuse, they don't have any family. They don't have that support. And I did not at the time go to any counseling. My counseling was prayer my church, my family, and my mother. That was my counseling and the job that God had blessed me with, the career in corporate, because there I got a chance to see a different part of who he described I was.
Right.
So that was confidence building. That was confidence building for me to say, okay, well, this whole group of people saying, well, you something different. You know, within the first year, I rose to the top of the company.
Wow.
And that was very strength and, confidence building for myself. And it showed me a different person of who he proclaimed I was.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Wow. I would say for me, I dug a hole for me because I stayed so long. I believe our marriage, it lasted probably 10 years. Legally 12 because it took 2 years for the divorce. But I really allowed it to tear me down. My self-esteem was shot. I didn't love me no more. Mm-hmm. Still trying to hold on to God a little bit because, like you're saying, you have your kids. I have my kids, there. Trying to protect them and still keep their life as normal as could be. And, basically it was fake. It was a facade, man. And just to think how you balanced it, you saying, you went to the top level, of your job, your career, but yet having this, right there, it's crazy. It is crazy. But what I want women, and it could be men, to know that there's help out there.
Oh yeah, there is.
And to know that you aren't alone, because most of them, they will try to they isolate you.
They will isolate. Oh yeah, they will definitely isolate you. Your mother's wrong. Your father, all of that, everybody, they're all wrong. They're all against you, and that the abuser is for you. And see, this is the picture that they paint in their head and in your head, and you start to believe that. You start to depend on what they're saying, when in all actuality, the household should be depending on God.
Right.
Structure is tilted and off. It's that person that's painting that picture for you and allowing you to become submissive to them.
Right. So let's talk about how you turned this into your positive, into your strength. What's happening in your world?
Let me see. So I'm trying to see where I want to start off with. I ended that marriage. And I'm going to touch on this before I leave.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
See, I'm a Christian. Yes. And I grew up in a reading the Bible in a Christian household and went to church. And so one of my fears is that God hates divorce. So I did not want to displease God.
That's good. Yeah, that's good.
And I want to talk about this is because I've heard that a lot of women are here. And there's a lady that I spoke to years ago who's now, and we're in partnership in our organizations, but she said, God sent me to her that day.
Wow.
To share something, my story with her. And she was in Apple stores. I went in there for a phone, and she says, because I shared what I'm getting ready to share with the audience right now, is that helped free her.
Yeah.
So my dilemma and what had me stuck so much was I thought that God would hate me.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that I would displease him so drastically because I was getting a divorce. And, as growing up as a younger child, I always heard that God hates divorce. So
yes.
But here's the thing. The Bible also says what God joins together, let no man put asunder.
Wow.
So God didn't join us together. I joined with him and he joined with me. He was the manipulator, and I was the needy person who needed a whole family. That was man doing. So man had to take away. I had realized later on, I had to come away from that myself.
Right.
God would do the joining.
Yeah.
So anyone out there that feels that weight of I got to stay in this marriage because I'm a Christian or something like
yes.
that, don't feel that way. You have to identify who did the joining.
Right.
Who did what? Did God put you all together? Or did you put yourself together? Did you find yourself in an emotional state? Did you find yourself in a physical state? Did you find yourself in a state where you were lonely and you wanted someone and that person was a warm body for you at that particular time? And you guys could just went on through the process and eventually got married. You got to kind of unwind and get to the bottom line.
Yeah.
How did I get here?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
totally.
the Bible says whatever God joins together, let no man put asunder.
Yes.
So whether you might have a separation in some time, but if God joined you together, he is going to reunite you together better than ever. And I've heard stories both ways where God did join people together, but they had a separation but they came back together. So I by no means, against, a marriage or relationships. I'm all for that. However, did God join me with this person? You see, God looks at the heart. We look at the, and there's a scripture, and I cannot remember it. I should have had it prepared for me, but God looks at the heart of a person, and we look on the outside of a person. Yes. And we see all of their this and that and the other. But there's a scripture in the Bible, and I'm going to paraphrase this a little bit, that God looked at a prophet, and he says, I have spit him out, or he is not for you, or something like that. But the person thought that this was the person that they should have been with. And God says, no, I see the heart. And that part of that person is bad. So when we start to, form relationships with people, it's about going to God first and identifying, is that the person for us? So getting back to the next. So the next for me was the company that I worked for, MBNA at the time. They were later bought out by Bank of America. But I had worked that job for 13 years. And through that job, I had, gone through the corporate ladder and did very well, very successful. And then I said, you know what, this little cubicle, this corporate arena, God has something more for me. I desire to do more. I can, and I can get tired of everybody saying, well, you could do this, you could do. And I was like, yeah, this is limited. I got to do more. So anyway, I said, God, listen, I made a decision. That's one important thing you have to do. Whatever you do in life, you've got to make a decision. Even getting out of an abusive relationship, make that decision, make that declaration to yourself, to God. And then when you do, make sure it's aligned with his will. And so what my request was, I says, Lord, I want to use my talents. I want to use my gifts and talents that you gave me. Now, this was years ago, 2006, I believe.
Wow.
2005 or 6. And then 2007, I relocated out here. But during that time, I had transitioned to a different department that made more money. I started a plan. I said, Lord, I got to get out of here. And I got a plan, went promoted to another department that made more money, saved up my money, and then moved to Arizona.
Wow.
Now, during that time, I was really focusing on what can I do? At that time, I wanted to use my voice. I wanted to do either commercials or acting and doing some type of print modeling. And so I said, they gave an opportunity at the bank for us to relocate because they had acquired Bank of America or MBNA. So that opened up more opportunities for us to move around. Right. So I decided on going to Arizona, and I'm very happy that I did choose Arizona.
Wow.
Acting and modeling is in California, and that was one option. And New York was another option. I didn't want to do any of those. because it was too busy.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Too
Big
busy.
city life.
And the noise would drown out who I was. I wanted to learn more of me.
Wow.
So Arizona is a retirement state. Arizona, it's quiet and beautiful here. So I had a lot of time to create. I had a lot of time to decide what I want to do and, go through some errors and, some mistakes and learning my way. And, so I did that in 2012. I started, I wrote a short film, wrote and produced a short film. It was Phoenix, Battered But Not Broken. Battered But Not Broken was my first short film, and it was basically supposed to be a demo reel. A demo reel is to showcase your work for the directors. And so I turned it into a mini short film, and I wrote about my own life story. And people started saying, "This is wow, we like that. You really did good." I was like, "Oh, okay, that's great. I didn't expect that. I was just trying to get my demo reel, and so I can get into the acting arena and doing things of that nature, and just get the name out there." But outside of that, that was my first one, and then I wrote another and starred in that one, and also produced it, Phoenix Finest in Blue.
Wow!
And from there, I started really delving into writing, which is one of my passions. And I really focus on my hand. What's in my hand? God gave me the ability to write. He gave me beauty. He gave me the ability to speak and the ability to create. And I gave all of those gifts back to God. And I said, listen, God, show me what to do with these.
Wow.
And then from there, I stepped away from acting and modeling, and I went to writing. I wrote my first book, Phoenix Survivor Celebrating Life Beyond Domestic Violence, in 2016. And from there, I started a nonprofit organization because from that movie, Phoenix Finest in Blue, it raised a lot of eyebrows, and a lot of people started to, comment, and that was really good. That helped them, that inspired them. So that triggered something within me to want to do more for victims of abuse.
Wow. So you shifted all of that, the pain, the trauma, the drama, look,
yes.
into that book, into your short film, into creating. And I have I got to quote you because I love it. I'm going to be using this, and I will quote you, ma'am. Create while you wait.
That's right.
That's what you was doing. But I also want to add, create while you heal. Like, my God, that's what you were doing.
Yes, create while you heal.
Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah.
So we have this book. I want you just to talk a little bit, of course, about your foundation, please.
Sure. So the book is a coffee table book. Actually, it's here. Oh, there we go.
Yes.
So it's a coffee table book, and it's designed to help spark the conversation. As you know, domestic abuse is a very sensitive topic that no one wants to talk about.
Right.
So the cover, during my modeling and getting my portfolio ready for the directors and all of that, all of those pictures were really for them. That's what they were. And so I never went that route. God didn't have me go that route. I went the route of creating, and I wrote the coffee table book. And the coffee table book, I wanted it to resemble a breakthrough, beyond domestic abuse. This is the life that God can give you, and this is how you can look from the inside, not just the outside. But this is what you can do with your life, and how what the changes that the Holy Spirit can work through you.
Yes.
I wanted to embody that within that book. So I created a coffee table style book to help start the conversation. When you lay this book down, it has all of our stories in it. It has my story and 13 other survivors with both men and women, including the 2-time gold medalist Ruthie Bolton and former WNBA player. Her story is in there as well.
Wow.
But and literally God gave me the people. He gave me the people. Like I had the vision, and the people came. I reached out to 2 people. That's Tara Lou and the other lady, Mia.
Wow.
Those are the 2 people I reached out to. Everybody else came.
Look at God.
I want to be a part. And I told her, I was like, well, this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm doing. It's all in my head, right? I'm creating. But to go back to your quote, and you quoted me, create while you wait. I was creating while I was waiting on Hollywood, literally in my head. Because I want to get my name out there. I want to act. I want to, do this, full time.
Yeah.
But what am I going to do while I wait?
Right. Right.
So I start working and, writing and start writing the book. And like I said, the people start coming to me, and God was giving me downloads from heaven, and it became it's a masterpiece of a book. I mean, and this is not me saying it. This is what the people say.
See, that's amazing.
That's what the people amazing. It's been in the Phoenix magazine. It's been in many publications, won first place award. But what it does, it helps transition anyone that has gone through domestic abuse. It helps transition them from abuse to abundance.
Yes.
Our stories.
Cool. Yes.
Scriptures. We tell our stories transparently throughout the book.
Yes.
What is that? The resources. The resources are all. It's like 50 resources in all 50 states. It has resources from the foundation. It has a meal plan in there. It has a budgeting plan. It has
this is rich. Wow.
Yeah, it has a budgeting plan, meal plan, detox plan, and an exercise plan. So, I've been there. This book is really about the journey that God has brought me through. So sharing it with the world and sharing it with someone, that may be going through that, and they don't want to talk about it. And so, through my foundation, I've been really blessed to partner with a lot of companies and businesses to have this coffee table book in their waiting areas, because that's what the vision, when I wrote it, I just, wanted to write the book. However, writing the book also led to other avenues, speaking engagements, and then different ideas with the organization. And being self-published is definitely a benefit, because you have more opportunities to market your book. And so that's what I did. And we've been very blessed to have the book in many different facilities where people, can just pick it up and get a resource, hear a story, and help spark a change within them.
Wow, this is good. So please let my audience know how to get this book, how to get in touch with you or your foundation so they get involved, get you volunteers, I don't know, sponsors, help, whatever you may, need. Please.
Well, they can get the book directly. It's Survivors Celebrating Life Beyond Domestic Violence. And you can go to the foundation's website at otahirah.org. That's OTAHIRAH.org, and go there to purchase the book. And also you can volunteer for the organization and also donate right from that link, that Tahirah Foundation.
Awesome. Wow. This is amazing. I thank you for your time. I tell all of my guests, because our time is precious. We don't get it back. I am grateful for you sharing your story with us, because this is a topic I just believe we really need to talk about, especially, on that man's side too, because, they really don't get that voice too, because this is happening with some of them too. And what you're doing is just helping cultivate it, to push this out there, to have another resource, to have some help, and real fast, not to just spill your beans, but I'm looking forward to to next year, to this new beginning of what you're building. Oh, wait a minute. Look, let me look at my notes. Y'all, because I tried to remember this. What we calling it, Tahirah?
The Tahirah Foundation's House of Hope.
Yes, House of Hope. There we go.
Yes.
House of Hope. This is going to be
so
amazing.
That will be a safe haven for women that are here in Arizona. And we want to start here. This is our base, this is our home. But we want to have this one's here and the one in Cleveland. I want to have that one definitely in Cleveland because that's where I started from. That's where it happened. And the program that we just launched this year is our Survivors Emergency Rescue Program. And we just got our transportation van. And so I'm very, very grateful to God for that, because that has been a long time coming. And to our donors, I'm very grateful to all of our donors who helped us get the van. And the transportation van is to transport women and families to safety.
Wow. Amazing. Amazing. Yeah, I got a couple other foundations, that I want to volunteer with, because that's what I pledged to myself. I have to get out there. I want to be hands-on and help. Mm-hmm. I love my show, my platform, but I want to be physical. I want to do, I want to put some of that sweat equity in, We
would love to have you.
Yes. Thank you so much. So any last words before we close out?
My last words are always see God in everything that you're doing. Always put him first. And how you put him first. I mean, that's like almost a cliche, but a lot of people won't tell you how to do. How do you put God first? Well, you seek him in everything that you do, even the smallest thing to the greatest thing.
Yeah.
And never give up. Never give up. Ask him for strength, whatever it is that you're going through. I don't care if it's domestic abuse. I don't care if it's loss of a loved one, loss of a job, financial issues.
Yes.
Ask God, ask the Father to help you with it, and ask him to show you where to go, because that's what the Holy Spirit is here for. He is here to guide us in all truth. And if we don't tap in with him and we don't tap in with ourselves, because he's equipped us with everything that we need, regardless whatever that person other says, he has equipped us with everything that we need. And so if we don't go within, we go without. And we don't go with him, we go without. Never give up. Seek him first and always be your authentic self.
Yes.
Stop looking to the left. Stop looking to the right. What this person has and what you don't have. Be grateful. Be grateful for who God has made you to be. Flaws and all. I am nowhere in shape or form. I am perfect at all. Flaws and all. Be grateful. And be your authentic self, because that is where the abundance lives within you.
Yes, my. You have said it all. I second that motion. Yes, that is true. Please be your authentic self. Yeah. Yes, look at you. And just keep working on you. Self-love, self-development. And like you said, pray, baby, pray. This was amazing. Thank you so much, my Resilience family, guys. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching, those that are watching, guys, and who's going to listen later. I appreciate you guys very much for tuning in to Resilience with Dawn Olivia. And as I always say, guys, man, stay well, stay strong, and always, always stay resilient, guys, because you're your best you. You're uniquely you. Until next time, guys. Blessings.
Blessings.